We're live.
We're live.
Hey!
It's showtime.
Happy Halloween.
Woohoo.
Happy
Let's
Fifth
see.
Tuesday.
Wigwag.
Tuesday,
Dwight.
okay.
John Tanzillo. Dwight Curley. Let's see who else we got here. We got Jim Tedesco
Eagle Creek.
and
Eagle Creek.
Eagle Creek. How's it going? Let's see.
Corey.
Corey. Yeah, Corey's here.
Yeah, John.
John Schuylkill River Valley.
Hey, John.
John and
We got a lot
John.
of Johns. John Tanzillo. We got all kind of Johns.
Mike.
Mike. Yeah. So we'll have a few people get in here tonight.
It's Carolina Foothills.
Tonight, the big deal is Robert's on location, which is not his location. So
I get you to come up on there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let me do this. I am going to throw you up as solo
Okay.
and introduce our guest. Well, I guess
All
you're
right.
his guest.
Oh, hi, Pappy.
Hey, hi, Ball and Hogger. And there's Pappy.
That's Dale. Dale Bass is a high ball and hawker. Pappy.
Yeah.
Introduce your guest.
All right. So this is Paul. He is the owner of the Hope subdivision of the Louisiana and Arkansas Railroad.
That is correct. Not necessarily the KCS, but
Yeah.
we observe the KCS as well.
Yeah.
And where are you located?
We're located in East Wichita, Kansas, down in the basement of our home here, and it's a nice basement for a railroad.
Yes, I know. You showed me. That is.
And we'll show it to you in a bit. Yeah.
Yep.
And Dave BNSF.
So if anybody got questions, put it in the chat. Either me or Dave or Robert. They're looking at a cell phone. They're doing this
Yep.
off of a cell phone. So
Yeah,
Robert's
It's-
eyeballs will probably pop out before this is over.
probably.
Dave BNSM scale. How's it going, buddy?
So Paul's channel is L&A Railway Productions.
If anybody's interested, I do have a YouTube channel. It's a railway LNA Railway RY Productions. It's got a little bit of aviation and railroad stuff on there right now. We're hoping to start a weekly tutorial, but we'll see how that goes.
All right.
Hey, Artie.
For what you got going, there's a massive undertaking. You could probably do a weekly show.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I can.
Yeah, I think you ought to be able to. Easily. Artie!
So before we get started, any announcements?
Any announcements? April Timonium.
Yeah, April 27th. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, that's my daughter's
Yeah.
birthday.
Yeah, April.
And I'll probably be at a train show.
Well, I'd take her with you. Then you ought to take her to the train show. That'd be good birthday present for her.
Yeah. Yeah, she'd probably be as excited as Dave's wife gets excited about going.
Yeah.
Oh, she enjoys it enough.
What's that?
She enjoys it enough.
Yeah, it gets her out of the house.
Yeah. That's the only time Dave lets her out of the house.
That's it.
Yep.
Cooking and cleaning. That's it.
Chasco.
Hey, Chasco. Hey, and Mike, how are you doing?
Let's go.
So, also, I don't know if anybody's in the Wichita area, but they've got an RPM meet this Saturday, right?
Yep, Saturday and Sunday our Benton RPM meet, Railroad Prototype Modelers meet is this weekend. It's a time-changing event here in Kansas. We're the only RPM in Kansas, so it's the biggest little RPM in Kansas.
Oh, nice.
Going over to see Ken Patterson while you're there?
Well, that's a good drive. He might come over. I don't know.
Well, he always was big for the RPM meets.
Yeah, he does he advertised for us here the other day, so he
Yeah.
gave us a shout out.
So
Yeah.
So now, how far is he from where you guys are going to be? I don't know where Ken's
just
at.
in Kansas City, right?
It's about an 8-hour drive over to St. Louis, South St. Louis.
Oh, St. Louis, he is.
Okay.
He's 30 miles, right on the Mississippi River.
Okay.
Hey, Ben.
Yeah, Kansas is a big state.
Yes.
Yeah, we're kind of in the middle of the state here in Wichita.
Oh, okay.
There's Ian.
Yeah, it's kind of long, yeah. It's
Hi,
square,
Ian.
rectangular, I guess.
Yep. All right.
So,
Oh, Elise
Robert,
here. Yeah, good.
Robert, what brings you up to Kansas City? Was it strictly for this meeting up with Paul, or did you have other business up there?
No, just to meet up with Paul. I kept threatening to come help him on his layout. So
Oh, that's a heck of a threat.
this is actually, believe it or not, the first layout he's ever built for himself.
Really?
Yeah, I've built a lot of railroads for other people, but this is my first
Very nice.
for me.
So
And Rob and I go back to high school days. We were the Terrors of Shreveport back in the day, and had a lot of fun back then.
yeah, so you grew up with Robert.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Yes.
That's why you need psychiatric help.
Yeah.
I understand.
Oh,
Well,
His,
yeah.
I lost my train of thought. Yeah. Doesn't take long to lose it.
Yeah.
Uh,
We used to hang around the Cotton Belt yard.
yeah. Did visit the Cotton Belt Yard on occasions.
Yeah.
Yeah. While we were cruising the main drag of Commerce Street there in Shreveport.
Yeah.
That was our Friday and Saturday nights. We're cruising the main drag.
Yeah.
that's nice. So what got you up to Kansas from Louisiana?
Employment. I worked for I was an air reserve technician for the 931st Air Refueling Group here in Wichita, Kansas.
Cool.
30 years service. I retired 2 years ago.
Well, thank
Wow.
you for your service.
Yes, thank you, sir.
That's off.
Y'all appreciate you guys being here.
God bless you.
Okay. So, is your railroad? Do you have a plan or anything set yet, or have you built anything?
Oh,
yet, or
yes.
just Go sitting there. And
Yeah, I'm,
Yeah. Let's look.
Let me
I'm
make
using-
the screen big here.
Okay.
I'm using the slicks from the KCS, and this is what I'm using for all my track plans.
Oh, okay. So, are you trying to stay like prototypical to a certain subdivision particularly, or a certain city?
Yeah, it's just the Hope sub. I'm doing 78 miles from Hope, Arkansas to Minden, Louisiana.
All right.
And
I'm afraid to
I don't
ask
know.
where you got- I'm afraid to ask where you got that nice
Hold
sign
on.
from.
What was that?
Uh,
Hide.
yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, hold on. We're fiddling with something.
It's okay.
It's not good when Robert starts fiddling with stuff.
There we go. All right.
Yeah. So if
Hey, Sparky. what
Here-
you doing?
here is
There we go.
there's the
Oh,
track
wow.
plane.
This
Well,
is
that's
a rough.
That's a big area.
This is a rough bench work plan from Minden all the way up to Hope, Arkansas. Coming out of Hope, we'll go to Dorcheat, which is a passing siding. Come around to Treat, Dason, and Cotton Valley is a big petrochemical location. They also had a big pulpwood yard. And around to Sarepta, little town of Sarepta was a pulp yard. Cullen was the big paper mill, also chemical factories. Spring Hill was just a small town that's close to Cullen, basically all one town. Taylor was a pulpwood yard. Lurch is out in the middle of nowhere, Arkansas, and it had a petrochemical spur for 8 cars. Coming around over to Stamps, Arkansas, with an interchange with the St. Louis Southwestern, the live interchange here. Also coming around to Herbert is a big gravel yard. There's also 2 pulpwood yards in between Stamps and Herbert. Up in the corner here, we're going to have a little Pilgrim's Pride chicken feed grain elevator coming to a place called Anthony. Right up here, had a hardware store and a lumber yard and a feed and seed. And then we get into Hope, where we interchange with the Frisco and the Missouri Pacific. The Hope subdivision was kind of unique in the 70s. Any detours on the Cotton Belt or Missouri Pacific would come down the Hope sub and go to Shreveport, Louisiana. So we're going to have live through trains from the Cotton Belt and the Missouri Pacific. The Frisco will come in and interchange there at Hope. And Hope can be a busy place along with the paper mill. Minden also. There's staging in there's on the upper deck and 10 on the lower deck.
That's
Are you still there?
if you want to see.
Still got us?
Well,
Hopefully.
bits and pieces. Bits and pieces.
Okay. Okay. If he moves it slow, I think it'll work better.
How about now?
Artie, yeah, you're good. Artie from
Okay.
Aussie America Model Railroading, he wants to know, you sure you got enough room for your railroad?
It measures 84 by 32, except under the garage, it's 40 feet wide. So I dug out the garage and built reinforced concrete above the garage for the garage, so I could utilize underneath the garage. And that's 40 by 24 just by itself. And this was, I built this house at the right time. We were coming out of the 2008, 2010 slowdown, and everybody was hungry, and I got a really good deal on doing the house.
You're my hero, you know that. To have that much room,
Well,
my goodness.
So this is Hope, Arkansas, where it's going to be is up here.
Yeah, the Missouri Pacific comes out of the corner, and Hope, Arkansas is here. It's about 20 feet long, maybe a little longer. The Frisco and the KCS both had yard trackage here. Not much. The Frisco was just 3 tracks, and the KCS was 4 tracks. There's some light industries here also. Pulpwood and grain are the primary customers. Seed and feed also. And we can walk down a little bit maybe. And as long as we stay close to this neighborhood, I think we'll be all right. Because of the double deck staging, we start to go down here outside of Hope, so we can get down to a lower level at Stamps. We have to go down 4 inches to get to Stamps, so that staging coming up for the Cotton Belt can meet the LNA there at Stamps. And we come down through here. We have one little town of Anthony. Anthony is just seed, feed, and hardware stores, just small little spurs with light customer traffic.
Robert,
I
back
need to
up
back
a
up.
little.
Yep, there we go. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, you stay right there, Robert, and we can hear him. He can keep on pointing.
Yeah. The problem with going underneath the garage, we lose signal underneath the garage because of all the concrete. So that area is pretty much what we showed you on the map. And coming
Right.
back into Minden,
which is over there.
is the main shops for the LNA was Minden, Louisiana. They had a very large steam locomotive repair facility there. They had a very large freight warehouse there. They also had a small passenger depot on the north side of the north side of town for passenger service. The year I'm modeling, 76, the passenger depot wasn't there, but I might fudge a little bit and build the depot anyway, just for nostalgic purposes. Because I remember the depot when I was a kid. They closed our feed stores for our horses in Shreveport. So we had to go to Minden in order to get our feed for the horses. So once a week, we had to make the track over to Minden to pick up 100-pound or 2 100-pound bags of feed for our horses. And then we'd come back. Well, while Mom was getting the feed, I was watching trains.
There you go.
So it kind of sentimental to me.
Yeah.
The feed
I'll
store
bet.
was just right there. I'll model the feed store as Lone Star Feed, and I'll model that. So that's kind of
That's
the impetus for this whole project is just my childhood memories as a child.
Yeah. Corey says you definitely need a Wi-Fi booster. You need Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we.
They're doing this off of their phone, just with
Yeah, this is all off the
The
phone.
phone.
No internet here in the Shattuck household. It's all phone.
Oh, boy.
You might be able to see some of the back. This part's the peninsula. This is the peninsula coming out into the room.
Yeah.
This will dog leg around.
Tell him who built it.
You can tell. You can tell Robert's handiwork on this. You see.
For what lumber costs, I wouldn't have let them touch none of it.
And that's probably a good idea. I'll have to take note of that. But it comes out and does the peninsula for the paper mill, which is the biggest customer on the line.
Yeah, so it'll go down that way and then wrap around.
All right,
Yeah.
Robert, don't you model like 76 roughly?
I do.
Now, is Paul as emphatic
Yeah.
about the railroad specific details,
Yeah.
names, and numbers, and all that?
Oh yeah, he is.
It's May 12th of 1976 here on this railroad.
Okay.
Oh, so you're actually earlier than what Robert is.
Yeah,
I
'cause
might be. Yeah.
I'm in September.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I had to have a cotton harvest.
I'm going to fudge and use some modeler's license on quite a few things, be it rolling stock or structures. I'll probably fudge on quite a bit of stuff. Like Louisiana Midland, I'm trying to keep as much of the rolling stock local as possible. So like Louisiana Midland boxcars, they may say 1979 on them, but I'm going to weather that out to where you can only be the 7 or something like that.
Oh, I got you.
Just to keep them inside my loop, because I want as many Louisiana, East Texas, South Arkansas, Oklahoma stuff as possible.
You want to introduce him to Jason, train freak Jason.
Yeah. Oh, he knows Jason.
Yeah.
Oh, you know Jason too? Okay, because he's big Arkansas.
Yeah, 'cause we went out rail fanning one a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Nice.
I took him over to Gibson.
There you go.
Robert, Artie wants to know if you're going to make him a fueling rack.
I need some.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, but you hear that? There's your answer there, Artie.
Well, Paul
You said
actually
one
has
of
about 20 of them, believe it or not.
Yeah, I've stocked up on fueling racks.
The oil loading
Yeah,
platform.
platform.
Yeah.
Yep. So, but that's pretty much the railroad as much as we can show you with our limited capability here, and hopefully we can get some stuff rolling here relatively soon before Rob leaves, we're hoping to have at least the mop loop that we're doing to have it running.
Cool.
The Missouri
Okay.
Pacific will have like a continuous loop, so trains can come through Hope at a random basis and kind of keep things active in that part of town. Coming in and out of staging. Did we lose it? I thought we may need to go over there.
No, I'm fooling
you're all right.
around.
Oh,
I'm trying to
okay.
get it-
So you're gonna have a lower level staging? Are you gonna have like a multi-level?
Yes, for the
Are you gonna have like 2 levels
No.
of layout, or just a staging and then a main layout?
just staging will be double level, will be 2 levels. The lower level is for the Cotton Belt and special duty trains, and then the upper level will be for the Cotton Belt detours, Missouri Pacific detours, and the Frisco, Illinois Central will be on that upper deck, along with KCS staging for Shreveport and Alexandria.
Oh, yeah. I misunderstood you originally with the double level staging. That's cool. That's
Yeah.
a massive layout.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, it's just, that's why it has to come up to Stamps. It'll come up to Stamps and meet the LNA at Stamps, close to track level. It'll be 4 inches below it though, so we have to go down at both ends to meet Stamps and then go back up. And we're doing about 0.25% for the grade.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad at all.
So tell everybody about your signs that you have there, the KCS signs that you
Well,
got.
this particular one, we've got a railroad crossbuck here. That's one of them. A friend of mine, I got that from a friend of mine. And over here, the big KCS 4-foot sign, that came from the Portland, Oregon Historical Society up in Portland, Oregon. The printer, the manufacturer of the Herald and the logo, they either overprinted or KCS didn't want all that they printed. So all their excess they gave to the Historical Society. And the Historical Society has been using them for a fundraiser, is where they come from.
Mm.
They were on eBay. They were $25. I don't think they're that anymore.
Those are actually the ones they put on the hoppers,
Yeah,
right?
the
You know those
black-
black hoppers?
Yeah, the big black 50-foot hoppers or 54-foot that KCS had, that's the ones they were manufactured for. And we were looking at it the other day, and they may have accidentally forgot something, because this part of the C is kind of chopped off right here. It's supposed to actually go up to a point. So that may have been why they rejected the lot. We're not, I haven't heard for sure if that's why.
They don't have CP on it anywhere. That's why they rejected it.
What?
Quiet, Dave.
What? What?
I had to get it in, Robert. Can't help myself.
Oh, you had to get it in.
I'm
no
surprised
choice.
it took this long.
Now, right here for any Santa Fe modeler who lives in Oklahoma,
Listen to me.
anybody that lives in Oklahoma or Texas and he's a Santa Fe modeler, this is Overbrook, Oklahoma. It's a small passing sighting that's south of Ardmore, Oklahoma. Twice a year, I would go to a church camp there in Ardmore, Oklahoma. And after lunch, me and a friend would hitchhike down to the tracks to go fishing. Well, while we were there fishing, I had my camera and I was taking pictures. And this particular sign I came across at the Oklahoma City show here about 5 years ago, and was able to acquire one of the signs from where I'd taken pictures for 20 years or close to 20
Very
years.
cool.
And that's the heritage of that. We've got a little bit of this particular location here is part of Hope, Arkansas. Highway 29. Highway 29 went under the tracks here. It still does, but it's new and improved now. So this depicts the old underpass with the Art Deco work that it used to have. And we're going to have the tracks coming through here and then the cars down under here. It's not quite like the actual Walthers. We've modified it quite a bit. So that's going to be our bridge here at Hope to represent that Highway 29 bridge there at Hope. And we're going to have two bridges at Hope. This one and the other one there at the south end, just before the KCS yard, is Highway 29 again, coming into Hope from the south. Trustee plates from the KCS locomotives. This was possibly off an SD40. Got that out of a boxcar.
Come on, show
They
the
donated
picture.
it to a cause.
Oh yeah.
This is a photograph of the Flying Crow in 1928, taken by Albert Brown, or A.E. Brown as he was known.
You didn't know I was that old, did you?
It's
Oh,
just
I
as
didn't know
ugly
there was
then.
actually a train.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's pretty cool, though. That's a pretty cool
Al-
photograph.
Albert
Get yourself
Albert
on him, Robert.
Yeah.
Albert started taking photographs in 1926 when he was very young, and he pretty much finished at another photograph that we'll look at here in a minute. He finished taking photographs in 1977 and then passed away about 10 years after that. But he was a pioneer photographer for the KCS LNA. He even published a book on the steam locomotives of the KCS LNA. It's very hard to come by. If you can find one, it's a great book for all your steam locomotive history of the KCS LNA.
Hey, Robert, you got to get a picture
Yeah.
of that. Get a picture of that and send it to Chris and have him paint you a painting of that picture.
Oh yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know if you
Chris
can
could do that.
I don't know if you can tell it, but it's a
You guys are breaking up again.
Hands on the throttle.
Oh, I'm sorry. How about now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
May have to back up a little bit.
Yeah, it's a double header locomotive. If there's two there, I don't know if y'all can see that.
Hold it that fire.
It'd still be a great picture to have painted as a painting
Yep.
for in your train shed
No, I think it would too. I think it'd be nice.
or even in your living room.
Yeah, I'm sure my wife would like that.
This particular
Yeah, I bet it
Harold
goes to the
thing.
decor.
Yeah.
This is another Herald off of one of their 40-foot flatbed trailers. They were scrapping at the time.
Yeah, you can still see
on
the
the front of
rivet
the trailer.
holes.
Yeah.
Yep. And then this is one of A.E. Brown's last photographs of the 4449 going back to Portland, Oregon in March of 1977. It's climbing up the Huey P. Long Bridge there in New Orleans. And three of my friends were fortunate enough to venture up to the top of the bridge to take photographs of it climbing up the grade there on the bridge.
Yeah. Brave men for a picture.
They were. They came across a signal maintainer on his high rail, and he asked them what they were doing. And when they told him they were waiting on the steam engine down at the bottom of the hill, which is about 1.5 miles away, he said, "You want to go to the top?" And they looked at each other. Sure. So they hopped in his truck, and he transported them to the top right here.
That sounds
The
like
fireman tells the story.
Yeah. What?
The fireman tells the story because he's got a look of shock on his face as he's watching him come up the hill.
That's something.
If you
Robert
happen to
would
have
do.
a Pacific, if you
Yeah,
happen
I
to have
know.
a Pacific News issue from 1976 or 1977, you'll see a picture of the three gentlemen up here taking pictures because the guy who submitted it to the magazine is in the train, so you can actually see him in that photograph.
Yeah. Ain't that something?
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
And back here is where his staging's going to be. That's where all of his storage is too.
So those are drawers underneath there?
Yep.
Did you build those or
They're,
did you buy
they're
them?
12. I have 12 doors. I built them myself.
Nice.
They're 12 drawers and each will be a separate town depending on the railroad or just general storage. The JMRI program will tell you when to put cars down there and when to pull cars from there.
That's cool. Yeah,
I like that.
I need
Good
something
idea.
like that.
You have something like that.
No, no. Well, I have the general idea, but it ain't like that. That's nice and organized.
No.
Hey, I'm like a box of Cracker Jacks. That's how organized I am.
I got all those plastic rolling carts with the drawers
Right.
for mine are
That really looks great.
No.
That came on.
There we go. All right. Now we're back to Back to where I can sit
people
down.
we need to say hi to. We got Ink Trails in here. We got Derail Daryl.
Hey,
He's in
Daryl.
here. Derek Alexander's in here.
Really incredible.
Since
Yeah,
you guys
I'm
started.
trying
Ray Ron VR is in. And anybody else I missed? Race Fan. Anybody else I missed? Sorry.
Oh,
The
there we go.
Carolina Foothills. I think I've seen him in here.
Daryl, Derek Alexander,
Yeah. Daryl's in here.
Jim Tedesco, Joe Raider.
So
Joe Raider. Me.
any
Ben from Eagle
questions
Creek.
you guys got about KCS before the CP takeover?
Thanks,
So we don't
Wilmer.
want to talk about the CP takeover. All right.
That or KCS de Mexico. We don't discuss any of those.
Right. Right.
He's just trying to take over the whole North America. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
We're purist. KCS only. Kansas City to Port Arthur. That's it.
And Dallas to New Orleans.
Yeah, and Dallas to Orleans.
Well, it's quite impressive. I mean, my goodness, I can't believe you have that much space under your house. That's
And it's still not enough.
Rob
Rob
really
you
likes-
need a mall.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rob really likes it when I complain about not having any room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like it when he complains about not having any room.
I know.
You gotta come to mine. I mean, I've got a 9x10 layout.
Nice.
That's all I've got. 9 foot by 10 foot.
Very good.
And I wiggle to get around in here.
Yeah. It's always, I don't care how big your layout is, you always need one more foot.
Right.
Doesn't matter how big it is, you need one more foot.
Eagle Creek says it'll be an awesome layout for sure. Looking forward to seeing it develop. So that means you are committed to doing a weekly show now.
Yes, indeed. Hopefully we can get that rolling. I've got one in the box already. I just haven't published it yet.
Well,
And if
there
it takes as long as Roberts did to publish, I don't know. We'll have to do something.
Yeah.
Rand,
Yeah, Joe Raider. Could somebody put Joe Raider in timeout?
Oh, you gotta put Joe in.
KCSCP. So now is this strictly you running this? I know it's at your house, but are you gonna have like a little group of guys there, club or anything? Or
I've got a
strictly you
group of
building it?
I've got a group of 4 who are pretty dedicated coming over and helping out.
Oh, that's nice.
It's been a real help. I've also got a JMRI guy out on the west side of town that's going to help with JMRI. So
That's great.
he really likes that program. He's been using it since they came out with it, and that'll help out a lot. But yeah, I've got a dedicated group of about 4 right now. I could probably get more than that, but I have to make sure there's stuff for everybody to do when they do come here
Yeah.
that they're comfortable working with.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He's talking about my lack of carpentry skills.
We won't go there, Robert.
I warned you.
Yeah.
Call Robert when you're ready for scenery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
indeed.
Call Robert when you want to do track work and wiring and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Robert's the guy to have.
So Inked Rail says to Paul, what made you choose the KCS as the main road for the layout?
Okay. When I was growing up, my brother used to take me to the Illinois Central Yard when I was 4 years old. So that kind of instilled the railroad blood in me when I was 4. Mom had to start taking me to the yard to watch them switch there at the Illinois Central Yard. Well, in 1967, we moved to Shreveport, and we were right next to the Kansas City Southern 6th subdivision main line. That plus having to get feed for our horses in Minden, Louisiana, those were the two big callings for the KCS. I was originally hooked on the Santa Fe like a lot of other people, but when I moved to Kansas, that perspective kind of changed. I started thinking more of home than the Santa Fe. So I've adapted the KCS as my railroad now. And of course, it always kind of was. We spent lots of time up on the main line when I was a kid.
Yeah. What's somebody was asking a question about what DCC system are you using?
CVP, Easy DCC.
Easy DCC.
That one I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know that neither.
Yeah, I don't know it either. So.
It's a product out of Texas. If you type in CVP products, it'll come up. He's actually the birthplace of command control. He worked for Texas Instruments down in Dallas, Texas. And during his time at Texas Instruments, he was in the military division. Well, the military had started doing things with small chips and decoders on wires to take the pulse of the frequency, AC frequency, and convert it into signals to utilize to drive motors and different things. Well, he started doing that with model trains because he was a model train buff. He started doing that. His original product was a very simple, easy one to use. When the NMRA came along, they decided that they had to make standards for command control. And with their standards, that changed his whole product line to where he changed it to Easy DCC. And it's still a real easy system to use.
It's just not well known, unfortunately.
Right. Mostly in the central part of the country, it's well known. Kansas City, there's a lot of people in Kansas City, and down Texas, everybody has his stuff. But he's still producing it. He's usually at the NTS every year, National Train Show, and it's a real simple product. I can also adapt Wi-Fi and use Wi-Fi here also. That's one of the plans. So I may even buy cheap phones because anything Apple 4 and above can do Wi-Fi.
Right.
And that's all you need is something that can do Wi-Fi.
Yeah. A lot of guys are going on that too. And then even, they get the Blue Nami chips and stuff you could use too now.
Yes. Yeah, that Blue Nami stuff really sounds interesting also.
Yeah,
Right.
it does. Really.
Inked Rails wants to know if you could have one KCS locomotive, what would it be?
The red one. The CP
Oh, look.
on it.
Look,
I don't know. I think I got it.
Coming out
Rob
of
did it for
Robert's
me.
ears.
Yeah, KCS 616, the Bicentennial.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
You already have that, right?
Yep, I do. And if I needed another one, it'd be like 95 maybe at white F unit, one of their first white red F units.
I'm not making another one.
I've heard that story before.
Just like Warmer's not going to scratch build you anything else, Robert.
That's right. He's not.
What's he working on now?
Yeah.
Never say never.
He's working on my dog trot.
Yeah.
I'd love to see pictures of the feed and seed that you said that you liked as a kid. If you got pictures, I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Of what now?
The feed store that.
Oh,
in
yes.
Linden?
Okay. Yep.
Do you have any photos of it handy?
Robert's got my email.
Oh, he's got him on the phone.
They
Okay.
might be on the computer, but I'd have to dig them up.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'll have him send them to you.
There you go.
Hold on a second. You guys keep talking. Let me see if I got a print. I think I might have a print.
Grandpa Rails just got here.
Hey, John.
John.
What's up, John?
So, but yeah,
Got my pumpkins tonight.
I like the old feed stores. There's one I showed you, Robert, the one in Mount Pleasant, not far from
Yeah.
here.
Oh, nice.
Wow, you know what? I think I've seen that picture before.
It's pretty standard style. They've modified it since the days when I was a little kid and went there.
Mm.
The back end of it was all open when I was young. They
I
had
think
just
it's an
open
antique
storage.
store now, isn't it?
It might be antique now.
I think it's an antique store now.
Steve 87th did a building. I mean, that looks exactly like
Mhm.
that. He scratch built that building.
It's an antique store now. I've been in it.
Have you?
Yeah.
It was one of the last places we could get feed for the horses. It was a 30-mile drive, but it was worth it for me. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Cool.
No,
That's
Derek,
cool.
he's not going to need an ice platform.
What?
He is gonna need some oil loading platforms though. Yeah. And he's got them. He's already got 20 of them
Mm-hmm.
that need to be built.
Sparky says, now he's in Canada. Sparky said he used to have a place called Marlette Lumber that looked just like that building.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had tracks on both sides of the seed and feed, so I'll have room for about 6 to 8 cars. Plus, there was a furniture store just east of the seed and feed that got 3 spots also.
Yeah. Yeah. You go ahead and send that, Corey. If you got my email address, it's in my about page. So. Corey says he has a scale drawing of an agway that he'll email me a copy.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But there's an old feed store that used to be fed, the railways used to stop there and get feed and grain and things like that. It hasn't been used with the railway, but it's still a feed store. And it's been there as long as I can remember. And I remember going there as a kid with my grandfather to get. We'd take our grain and corn and stuff in, and we'd have it made into like a chop for the cattle.
Right.
And, I remember.
I think we drove past it, didn't we?
Yeah, I showed you where it was.
Yeah,
I said
yeah.
I would like to scratch build that building.
Yeah.
Yep. And put it on my layout somewhere. I don't know where I'd find a spot, but I'd try to work it in there.
Yeah, make room for memories, that's for sure.
Yep. Inked Rail says the favorite part for him is building kits, detailing, and least favorite is track work and wiring. I'm with you, Inked.
I
I'm
agree.
with you.
Same.
I hate track work and wiring.
I don't mind track. I don't like building kits. See,
Could fool me putting together all those
platforms.
platforms.
That doesn't mean I liked it.
You loved it, especially like that scratch building you just did. You did a nice job on that.
Yeah. Well, I'm still that's still in progress. So.
Oh no, you didn't put it on the in progress shelf, did you?
No, I mean it means I haven't finished it yet. And it's hard to finish it from here.
Yeah.
Believe me. My arms aren't long enough to reach down to Texas from here.
So, Dave, I wanted to ask you a question since we're on here.
Yeah.
You're dressed up like Mario. Who's Donkey Kong?
No Donkey Kong. Yeah. Thanks, Grandpa Rails. My niece is over trick or treating. They dressed all up as Spider-Man, and
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, so they went out. Got a lot of kids around me, so they took her out. My wife is handing out the candy, and I'm hanging out with you guys.
There you go.
Cool.
So,
Yeah, we haven't had kids in 15 years here.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my kids are grown, but this is my wife's cousin actually lived down there, and my wife's nephew, sorry, not cousin, her sister's son lived in Rome, Texas. He just moved back
Oh.
here. He's from here originally. He moved down there, and then they just came back up
Hmm.
the last 6 months. So
My
it's like her
wife's-
first Halloween up here.
My wife's with the church tonight, and they're handing out
Yeah.
treats.
Yeah.
The church is right in the middle of a residential area, and they get a whole lot of.
Yeah.
Everson had their, where I live, had their trick or treat on Sunday. So, but you go across the bridge to Scottsdale, where my church is, and their trick or treat was tonight.
So Inked Rails
Yeah.
said, if you had to add one road name, what would it be and why? Okay, I'll answer that for me. I believe it or not, I like the Chessie.
Yeah.
I like it. I just like the paint scheme. Actually, my first train set, the F unit in it was a Chessie, and I've always liked it. So
I grew up seeing the Chessie in
Yeah.
Connellsville.
of course I lived nowhere near the Chessie, but I always liked it for some reason.
Yeah.
So.
I've seen a lot of them Chessies.
Louisiana Northwestern here.
Louisiana Northwestern.
Yeah, it's a little short line, runs from Gibson, Louisiana up to McNeil, Arkansas. Not only can you see the railroad, but you can see Bonnie and Clyde, 2 museums while you're there,
Yeah.
and the place where they got shot.
Well, I do
And
have
Joe
one-
Rader likes that answer, I think.
There you go.
Chessie rules.
I have a bunch of Chessie. I model mostly CSX. I think I'd have to go back a few years, but I'd go with Conrail.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
I think I started another line, which that's always a possibility. All I have to do is buy the trains because I don't have a specific other than the Indian Head Valley, which is a fantasy.
Yeah.
But I always liked Pennsylvania, and I like the Pittsburgh and Lake Erie. Always liked them.
Yeah.
Always liked Pittsburgh, Lake Erie.
Hmm.
But they were from around here. You know, they came through here all the time.
Mm.
So it's stuff that I see, and I do like Chessie. Like I said, I seen them when I was a kid. You know.
They were just so different, the scheme, you know.
Yeah.
So colorful.
Yeah, that orange and blue and
Yeah, it's beautiful.
yellow or whatever it was. Yeah.
You'd see them coming through here. They almost glowed in the dark.
Yeah.
Now I get in this Canadian National a little bit myself too. Pick some of those up.
Yeah.
Wilmer, what railroad goes through there now?
CSX, the biggie around here. Every once now I have the Southwest Pennsylvania short line that comes through here,
There you
Like-
go.
right outside my house.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also have, once in a while, the Wheeling and Lake Erie comes through here.
Yeah. They got a cool scheme. I like that black and orange.
Yeah, black and orange. Well, I don't usually see the black and orange ones. Once in a while, I usually see the old dumps that they bought off of everybody else. They had an F unit come through down here on the short line here. Oh, less than a year ago. It is so rusty. You can't identify what it was originally.
Hey, man.
Oh.
It's just that rusty. And it was still pulling freight. Still pulling freight, an old F unit.
Nice.
Yeah, I like your front porch videos.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I haven't made one in a while. I'll have to do one. They come through so often now. They're busier than all get out.
Oh, that's good.
And then on November 11th, they're going to have the speeders come through here for picking up for Toys for Tots. And I rally my church to collect toys for that. And I always film that too. And that's
Good
pretty
deal.
interesting.
That was a good time. I'm kind of bummed I can't make it this year.
Yeah. Happy said he might come in for it. So,
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
yeah.
So Mike asked, was the Katy a KCS? Now, Mike, so Katy is Missouri, Kansas, and Texas.
Yeah.
They're not associated with KCS.
Yeah, they were independent up to 1988
Yeah.
when Uncle Pete took them over,
Yeah.
Who took him
or
over?
should I say, utterly pathetic.
The utterly pathetic railroad,
Oh, yeah.
the UP.
Yeah, I never been a fan of them.
I always liked Illinois Central and GMO too. I always liked both
Yeah.
those.
Well, the ICG ran around here too. I mean, through Shreveport. That was one of the big railroads in Shreveport.
Yeah,
So, Cotton
that's
Belt,
why I'm gonna have it interchange.
there ain't too many of them I can say I don't like.
There you go.
So
It's hard to pick one you don't like, huh?
Yeah.
that's right.
Oh, okay,
I
maybe
see cool
UP.
stuff from every one of them. So
Let's see.
So Carolina Foothill says now that the leaves have fallen, he can see the trains pass by out the back window.
well, see now I'm with you on that, Carolina Foothills.
Yeah.
Now that the leaves have fallen, I can look out the back porch and see the trains coming too. So, I can
That's
do-
the way it was when I was young there at the apartment complex. My second story window faced the KCS, and there was a forest in between the road and the tracks. And until the leaves disappeared, you couldn't really see the trains. Of course, all that's Interstate 49 now. You can't see any of the trains through there anymore from my apartment complex.
Oh, Anthony's showing up late.
Yeah.
Anthony.
Yeah, when the show's just about over. Yeah, Anthony, we're just about done. But hi. Yeah.
Which one's in?
Georgia Sunbelt.
Okay.
Yeah, Georgia Sunbelt's Anthony. Makes mean salmon patties.
Yep.
He sure does.
Yep. He gave my wife the recipe. Now I have them at least once a week.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's the recipe.
I like them that much.
Still have to make them. No excuse, I haven't.
Anthony was nice enough to let us stay at his house last year or this past April.
Oh,
So
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The,
they made salmon patties for breakfast.
Oh, nice.
He's got
Yeah,
a nice layout there.
Yeah,
Hey,
he
well,
does.
Carolina Foothill says he needs that recipe. It's pretty
Yeah.
good. So
Yeah,
Just like
Dave
that.
dressed the part.
Yosemite Mario.
Matt Asterbury, how you doing? Yeah, I know all about granddaughters keeping you busy. I got a lot of them.
Yeah, I bet, Matt.
So. All right, guys, got any more questions there for Paul while we have him in here?
Do you,
We're gonna be wrapping this up.
Yeah, do you have I know it's hard to put a time frame on things, but what are you kind of thinking there, Paul, as far as actually getting things more operational?
Hopefully here within 6 months, I might have a main line all the way through and then just working on spurs,
Yeah,
depending on wood prices. But yes, hopefully here in about 6 months.
yeah. Okay. That's
I
a
hear you.
reasonable time frame. Like you said, at least get that main line in, running trains,
Right.
get some kinks out. See if you want to make any changes.
Yep, I'll focus on the main line and then worry about the spurs later on.
Eric.
I'm using Homosoda's road bed, 1/2-inch Homosoda's road bed,
Oh, nice.
and I do plan on hand laying everything. I've already got all the rail. I only paid $275 for all the rail to do the whole railroad.
Oh, wow.
So,
You're gonna hand lay all that.
yep, all I have to do is
You're
get
gonna
the
make your own
ties. You know.
turnouts too.
Well, I'm using Detail West Frogs, so it's going to go real quick for the switches.
Yeah.
And I thought you were nuts, Robert.
See, I'm not the only one. And he's actually using a mix of 83 and 70, right?
83, 70, and 55.
Wow.
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 So we're going to use fast tracks for a lot of things. I've already got the jigs and everything to do fast tracks. I'm also utilizing their double diamond for 2 of the junctions. And then putting the glue on the rail. You can put glue on the foot of the rail, let it dry, and then you can come back, put it down, and put a soldering iron to it, and it'll fuse to the ties. It works pretty quick.
Corey says he's getting carpal tunnel just at the thought of it.
Yes, really.
Yeah.
Really. And Carolina Foothill says hand lay and no internet. OMG.
That's about right.
So Anthony, since you came in late, this is Paul. I'm visiting him in Wichita, Kansas. We're just doing a tour of his layout that he's just starting. So, and Dave just put up the link to his channel. So
Right.
he's going to start
Thank
putting
you.
up some videos pretty soon of his layout progress. So right now it's basically framework but
Yeah, we're also doing spline road bed for all the main line and curves, and most of the areas that aren't big yards or yard trackage will be doing spline road bed.
Yeah.
Derek, he's going to start putting up. He hadn't put up anything much yet, just a few videos, but he's going to start putting up some stuff.
Yeah,
Derek,
Yeah, I've got aviation up there and some train videos also, rail fanning videos. There's one, you'll see him in one of them.
Me?
Yeah, you,
Oh, that's right. The one we did at
Gippsland.
Gippsland.
Thumbs
Yeah.
down that one. Thumbs down on that one. Robert.
What's that?
We have the thumbs down that one.
Oh, thanks. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Matt Asterbury says hand laid. Wow, a real modeler. Holy Toledo, you go, boy.
Crossing my fingers.
Those would be some really cool videos to put, like maybe not the whole thing, but maybe a small video on how you do that. Like guys maybe could learn from that,
I've got a lot of them already lined up. A lot of them are time lapse, especially like sheetrock. I also did a time lapse of me working on the fast track diamond. There's doing bench work. I've done some time lapse on that too.
And I plan on hopefully combining those one day and just kind of lumping those in to catch everybody up to where I am now.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Ink Trails wants to know, it's an older era layout or modern? 1976, right?
Yeah, 1976.
Yeah.
I got to have every July 4th. I plan on having a July 4th celebration with bicentennial locomotives.
I know somebody else that does that too.
Who?
Robert.
I've been collecting the bicentennial stuff that Athens come out with, and one of my favorite is the Illinois Central Gulf GP38 that they did. That looks like an eagle. It's really a neat paint. It was a neat bicentennial.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I was real happy when Athern produced that
I
one.
get that one that Tyco made. It didn't run, so I took the motor out of it.
You got a lot of guys real anxious to watch you build that. So
yeah.
Deep Run Mike says this is going to be a great build to watch. So
yeah,
it will.
Yeah, I'll do my best to keep you guys updated.
Yeah, sounds cool.
Robert, how many times a month are you heading up there to help?
A month?
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
I'll bet.
At this point, I'm just going to wait till he's done. Then I'll come back.
How long of a drive is it, Robert, from your place to his?
It's about 7.5 hours.
That ain't too bad.
Mm.
I said you work from home, right? But there's no internet there, so you'd be kind of.
How many people did you yell at on the way up there?
Not many.
Come on now, I've rode with you before.
I did have truck drivers yelling at me though, but
no.
Well, you that guy? You weren't that guy riding in the left lane doing 55, were you?
no.
He's been a backseat driver ever since he's been here.
Oh, yeah, I can believe that.
He likes Wichita drivers.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt. Oh man.
Yeah.
How many locomotives do you have? Do you know?
Currently KCS locomotives, I've got about 40 KCS locomotives.
40.
I've got some Santa Fe locomotives still from when I was collecting Santa Fe stuff. And then I've got a lot of SP Cotton Belt also, probably 20 SP Cotton Belt.
Well, that'd be cool.
Santa Fe's another one I wouldn't mind collecting somewhere. That was the first locomotive I ever had was a Santa Fe, like an F7 or something. That's all I know.
The Intermountain GP10s that they did for Illinois Central Gulf, I've got a set of Frog Eyes, Illinois Central, and then regular headlights for Illinois Central. One's Illinois Central and one's Illinois Central Gulf, both in the Mandarin and white. They're beautiful locomotives. Plus, I've also got the cabooses from Centralia that they did, the Illinois Central cabooses. Those are really nice also.
Tony's down here. He's a big Illinois Central guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Tangent did some Illinois Central cabooses also. I've got those also.
Yeah. A lot of people have been doing cabooses lately.
Yeah. There's some
nice ones.
Really nice stuff. I'm not too sure about sound in it, but you know, if I can get it without sound, I usually get it without sound. I haven't figured out why we have sound decoders in cabooses.
Yeah.
What kind of sound does a caboose make?
I don't know.
Maybe just clickety clack and conductor, maybe.
Yeah. I never heard anything other than maybe a clickety clack when they went by me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Some brakeman hollering at you because you were out there too close to the track or something.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I think we're going to wrap this up. Call it quits. We thank
All
you.
right.
Anybody
doing
have
this.
anything they want to
Pretty
promote in the chat? Anything coming up? Any promotions? Oh, Sparky, you put out a video of this yesterday?
Yeah.
If you happen to be close to Benton, Kansas, our railroad prototype modelers meet Saturday and Sunday this week.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what are you doing, Robert?
I don't know. What'd you do?
I didn't do nothing. That was all your end. You're over there fiddling with it.
I ain't anywhere near it.
You put your finger on it. I know you did. All righty. Okay, guys. Well, we're going to wrap this up, and you all have a very good one. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
And taking a break from all the ghouls and the ghouls out there and the candy takers.
Yeah.
Joining us for a while, a bunch of modelers and enjoying one another. So thank you very much for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks,
And
guys.
I wish you all a good evening and God bless.
Yeah. Enjoyed it. Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
guys. Enjoyed it.
Take care. Happy Halloween.